Welcome back to Reformer YG, and today we are going to learn about being known as a Christian. Should the young be known as a Christian? We are confronted to a world in which nowadays there is too much division among people just concerning Christianity, concerning religion. We see everywhere wars which are based on religion and so many. Yeah, being a Christian, it's something good, but do we need as ourselves to go out and proclaim it? As I mentioned before, we have a problem in the current generation. Christianity can be just by the name. Someone can be called a Christian, but it's just the name of being called Christian, but he doesn't actually live it. Sometimes people even take more than that. I am a Christian and I belong to this specific denomination. Should we do like that also? And I wanted that we get an answer today in a biblical perspective. Does the Bible ask us to proclaim our Christianity? Let's go.
Are we teaching the truth in love? Telling it like it is. Are we holding pure motives, showing that we care? Are we teaching the truth?
Okay, welcome back, and as we continue with our video of today, Matthew chapter 6 verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. I think we have all understand, and the Bible was clear. The Bible says we should take heed and try to avoid to live a righteousness which can be just seen before men. And this is the time on which we're living. We're living in a time on which everyone wants to live his own righteousness. No one is running after the righteousness of God. And this is the fight which is nowadays. People are called Christians because they want to satisfy the heart of a certain friend, the heart of a family, the heart of the denomination which you belong to. And from that, people will be claiming that Christianity, it is in the heart. It's not something which is to be outside. It have to be something which is in the heart. I think you understand what I'm saying. And if we see in this verse, Jesus was asking these people who he was talking to live according to the righteousness of God, not according to their own righteousness. And I think my answer is straight, is that we do not have to proclaim that we are Christians. Like, it have to be something which we live, but we don't go to proclaim it out there. So you may be having a question. We are supposed to preach and to do other things. How are we going to do it if we don't say that you are Christians? I have an answer for that. There are a lot of things which you have to avoid living as a Christian. And among those things, there is boasting. Our life itself should go and testify outside that we are really Christians. Matthew chapter 6 verse 5. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Living as a Christian comes after praying for it. We need to ask it from God. Our Christianity in life, not publishing it, not boasting about being Christian, not showing off before humans about our Christianity. And when we live as Christians, we'll be avoiding one thing, as those guys were in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 2 to 5. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierces, dispersers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. I think we have heard it all. This verse really kind of describe what we live nowadays in Christianity. People will be proclaiming being Christians but denying the power of God. And this is the thing which we're trying to avoid when I'm saying that we shouldn't publish ourselves being as Christian, but we have to live a life which is an example. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. I think it's very clear. Our good works, things that we be doing, those are the things which are going to make people call us Christians. And that is exactly the same way being called Christian started. The first time when they called Christians, it was not because they went to claim it, telling it to men, telling it to people, but it was themselves who were living in a way that other people could notice and call them Christians. Let's read about this. Acts chapter 11 verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. It was a name which they gave to them. They didn't call themselves Christians. It was a name which they gave to them after seeing how they were living. So my brother and sister watching this video, my prayer is that we live a life which is going to have an impact out there. Let's live in such a way that when you're living, people can see you and ask you, are you a Christian? Why do you help people without waiting for anything from return from them? Why do you do good actions? Why can't you cheat? Why can't you do this? All those actions are actions which are to bring people to know about Christ. Not as boasting, not as speaking out there that you're Christians. Of course, you have to be proud of Christ. Don't deny it in public. I'm not saying you should deny it in public. So thank you so much for watching the video. And if you have been blessed, I ask you to share this video with anyone. And if you have any question, you have any suggestion, please put it in the comment section. And do not forget to follow us on Instagram as on Facebook. And may God bless you. Thank you so much.